Hey everyone, today is February 28th, 2023, and here we are in Florida, Massachusetts. Temperature is exactly freezing out, but snow is still sticking. Heavy, wet snow. Looks really pretty on all the trees. Hoosick train tunnel looks really pretty too with all that ice right there. So, came up here to take a look at it since I was in the area. There's already 8 inches of snow on the ground. Might pick up a little bit more before it stops. Came up here to take a look at it, so I'm parked in the parking area. They have a good sized parking area for the rail fans. And this is also a hiking trail that starts right here at the base of the tunnel. It goes up maybe 15 minutes. There's an old hydroelectric dam they used to use for when they were making this place. It's now abandoned, but it's a cool place to see with 2 waterfalls. It's right next to each other, come together into one, into the tiny little reservoir. It's really cool. But since the last time I was here, showing this to you guys a couple months ago, there's a couple little changes. A couple months ago, this culvert pipe right here, which just leads into this drainage canal into the culvert, was clogged. So it was going through, they have an electrical conduit there, which they're using as a culvert. It was all going over there and down into that drain. Since last time, it appears the train company has unclogged the little culvert. It's stupidly undersized if we go and take a look at it. You can't really see it with all the ice, but that is a 8-inch plastic culvert, which is kind of crushed too. Something must have gone in there and got clogged. It's stupid altogether, the size of it and the material of it. Anyways, I've been showing this to you guys for years, and I want to show again some updates. So, they have a beautiful looking drainage canal here made completely out of stone, and it's reinforced with train rails, which are super duper strong compared to rebar. It's amazing the quality they used to build back in the 1800s. This entire drainage canal and the entire culvert made out of, it's a stone arch, the entire thing with a concrete floor. I would say 90% of this structure is still in great condition. But there's a couple failures. There's a big sinkhole slowly opening up as it erodes inside the culvert. That could easily be fixed with like a couple $1,000s worth of concrete. This whole thing could be done with like $10,000 worth of concrete, redone, fixed properly, with a total manpower of like 100,000. But when they let this thing fail, which they're probably gonna do for emergency funding, it's probably what they want. It's probably going to cost multi-million dollars to replace this whole thing with garbage concrete that won't last nearly as long, when this system here could go on hundreds of more years if it was properly fixed. So this railroad is now owned by CSX Transportation. It used to be owned by Conrail. I've never seen a CSX locomotive ever come through here. I've only seen Norfolk Southern. And they have numerous trash racks which are made out of welded train rails. One here and another one like 100 feet up. The purpose of the trash rack is not to collect trash, but natural debris that the river is bringing down from the mountain. This thing here is 8 feet tall, and it's completely clogged with full-size trees over a foot in diameter, boulders, sediment. It needs an excavator to properly do this. Years of neglect has caused, during a storm, it rushes over the top of this, digging out underneath this wall. I have videos in the summer when I've walked through the culvert down inside this drainage ditch. Right here, it's all eroded under this wall, and it's causing water seepage onto the tracks. During a major storm where it's flooding, this whole thing could potentially push out. I'm sure they would know about it before a train hit it, but imagine how many tens of millions of dollars that's going to cost them with trains not being able to run during the cleanup. Also, it pushed out that entire hill, the water being backed up. This rock wall from here to here is gone. All the rocks involved in that have since tumbled. Some of them are here. Some of them have tumbled through the culvert, which may have caused the damage we see in there today. And it's really not that bad if they would get out here and fix it. Anyways, from this, who knows what kind of hollow cavity there could be here. It doesn't look that bad yet, but it's coming. You already got water seepage. If you can see down here, if we come after a rainstorm, the water seepage is a lot more. Wow, that's cool, the snow rolling down there. I always love doing that. You make a little snowball. I wish this hill was longer and steeper. You see, it just didn't do it right. it'll just keep gathering and gathering. It's really cool. Get bigger and bigger till it can't hold itself or it gets stuck. But today I just realized in the past 2 months since I've been here, there's a whole geyser of water coming out of the ground that was never here before. And I'm pretty sure it's related to this. Now, from years ago when it flooded, you see right here? This whole thing right here actually pushed out a couple years ago, but that's not from it going under the wall. I think it actually went over the wall in a severe storm. Well, that's what it looks like to me. Look at these wires. Those are going to a signal tower in the middle of the tunnel. They're very low. They're only like 8 feet off the ground, which is definitely not to code. I think the code for a power line is like, well, this one's communications. That one's definitely power. I think it's 13 feet it's supposed to be. I could definitely reach up and grab that. I don't know why that's so low. Anyways, right here, I just removed some of that with my feet. You got water trickling here, which is dribbling down the hill from that same spot. Maybe it could have eroded underneath it. I'm just not seeing it on the other side because it kind of fell in. Maybe that's more of a sinkhole depression there. It could be. Because right below it, we got this brand new geyser coming out of the ground. Look at that. Brand new geyser. And this problem's just going to keep getting worse. If you look all along here, you see water trickling out of the hill from that stream. And that stream, it's cold out. It's running pretty low. This problem gets considerably worse. So the hiking trail's up there. Keep in mind if you want to do it, bring crampons if you do in the winter, definitely, because last time I was up there, it was a summer and it was treacherous. There's some very steep spots that have washed out. You know, I'm surprised in this day and age the train company allows you to get this close to the tunnel to do the hike. But I've talked to those railway workers. They said they only start arresting people when they actually go inside the tunnel. But they understand lots of people like to come here and take selfies with it. It's a hole. That's why they built the parking lot and stuff. They don't really care about that stuff. Just stay out of the tunnel, and that's when they will start arresting people, they said to me. I'm surprised this day and age, though, being so close to the tracks, they haven't relocated the trail to that side from the parking lot and just had a little bridge going over it. They should definitely get involved with the Park Service. They could make that a beautiful historic trail going up to the old abandoned hydro dam. Whoa. So, you can see by my tracks, I didn't go in here. I just wanted to take a few pictures of the icicles before I decided to make this video. Look at that giant pile of ice right there. Imagine if it was closer to the track. I'm sure they come through here with machinery every now and then to chip that away so that it doesn't derail a train. Imagine if that big icicle there was in the middle. That train would get that right through the windshield. I'm sure they check that occasionally. Or in weather like this, approach it slowly. Years ago, they used to have heaters right here to stop this from happening. And most of it they removed. A few years ago, it was still all over the ceiling, but they have since removed it. You could see all the soot from the coal trains back in the day. They used to have electric locomotives when they first opened this just to push passengers through it, and then the steam locomotive would take them from there. That's so the passengers wouldn't get snuffed out by the coal smoke. You see on the wall all this stuff right here? That used to go all the way over it to collect the groundwater and safely get it to the side without causing the dangerous icicles. This place sure is beautiful, though. Such a beautiful place to come and admire. Look at that entrance of this tunnel. That'll be like that for hundreds of years before it starts falling apart. Same thing with the craftsmanship that went into this genius drainage canal up there and culvert system. We've walked through that thing multiple times, and every time we go through it, the damage is a little bit worse. They could save themselves millions of dollars and tens of millions of dollars in delays from freight not being able to get through here if they'd... All they have to do is probably spend $100,000 having a worker come out here with some concrete and just patch the holes in compromised areas, have an excavator guy come out here for a weekend, unclog the trash racks, dig out the entire 100 feet of canal leading up to the next trash rack, and fix the erosion, that little bit of rock wall damage. It's really not that bad, but I think this place is set up for disaster. Now, that being said, who knows when a storm like that could come and make it give. It could be in the spring. It could be in 20 years. but this place is having an issue I'm seeing. I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching and have a great day.